Hi there, how's it going? I hope that you're well. Today we are talking about every single book series I am currently in the middle of, my progress with them so far, what I think to them so far, whether or not I'd recommend them, and also which ones are the priorities for me to finish this year. So if you didn't know, I have set myself the goal of trying to finish a lot of the book series that I was in the middle of. I've been doing okay with that so far. Don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm pretty proud of myself for my progress with that. So I'm up to date on a lot of book series in which they're not finished yet, but there isn't another one yet to read. And I have finished a few series as well. For example, I just finished Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas, which is an 8-book series. And I'm working my way through a lot of different series at the moment. So I thought I would share those with you today. There's a huge range of different types of book in this video. And I would love to hear from you as well to see what book series you're currently in the middle of. Is the plural for book series series, or is it series? Book series is. I don't know. If I use the terms interchangeably, hopefully you'll know what I mean. Give this video a thumbs up if you love books. And yeah, I hope that you enjoy this video. Right then, we've got a lot of books to talk about, so I'm going to get straight into it. I've got books all over my desk and I don't know what to start with. Let's start with a cult classic, which I'm absolutely loving at the moment. I am reading The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. What an absolute classic. This is essentially Lord of the Rings meets Star Wars. A boy and his dragon companion go on a quest. There's very high fantasy elements. It gives me the most cozy, wholesome feeling. There is no doubt in my mind that I will continue this series and finish it. I've read the first book and the second book, so I need to obviously move on to the third. This is also the book that raises the most amount of questions in my comment sections across all social media platforms, because anytime somebody asks, "What are those beautiful books behind you with the dragons on the spines?" It's the broken binding editions of The Inheritance Cycle by Christopher Paolini. Now, I don't want to get my grubby hands all over these beautiful editions, so I do read these very old paperback style ones, which are actually just next to it. But these are like my favourite prized possessions. They're absolutely beautiful. I actually bought these as a gift for my husband and then kept them for myself, with his consent, because I just love them so much, and I said, they are literally a trophy piece to have in the background of every single one of my videos. And he does also like to film in this office as well, so it's kind of like a shared office. So they are still technically his, but I just love them. So yeah, I am loving this series at the moment. I would really recommend it if you want a very easy, wholesome, cozy fantasy vibe. And I can't wait to read the rest of it. So that's that one. What next? Oh, I've got to talk to you about one of my absolute favourite book series that I've ever read. This is 100% one that I'm going to continue and finish all the way through. I'm currently reading The Realm of the Elderlings by Hobb, so I've just finished the Farseer trilogy. I think this entire series has like 16 books or something in it. So I'm about to read the Live Ship Traders, I think is the next trilogy, so that's the one that I'm going to move on to. These are the beautiful Hobb books behind me. They look stunning. Fitz and Night Eyes are genuinely the companionship of all companionships. And this book is brilliant. I love Hobb's writing style. I think, to be honest, she could possibly be my favourite author, I think. It's really hard for me to say because I love so many authors. I love so many different writing styles. But she is one where her writing style I think I love the most. And her character work as well. So I'm very excited to finish the rest of this brilliant series. I would highly recommend this with every fibre of my being. If you are a fantasy fan, if you like animal companions, if you like a very juicy plot, and if you just like a very talented, fantastic author, I would highly recommend this. Next up, a book series that I'm very excited to continue, and for some reason I haven't continued this as quickly as I would like to. I'm going to prioritise this, I think, going forward, especially as we get to the winter months. It's very Norse inspired, it feels very kind of snowy. I'm currently reading the Bloodsworn Saga by Gwynne. So I have just read book 1. I do have book 2 ready for me to read. This is a Norse-inspired fantasy with like Vikings and a very unique take on a fantasy magic system. That's all I'm going to say. I really enjoyed this. Again, very talented author. I enjoyed the plot of this, and although I found the first chunk of it a little bit slow, I didn't mind, because the payoff that you get at the end of this book, the showdown at the end of this book, absolutely fantastic. I am very excited to read the next book. But again, I think the reason why I have put this off reading the next one is because I think it feels more autumn winter for me rather than spring summer. And we were going into spring. I mean, we've got a heat wave right now at the moment. I don't really feel like I want to read about snowy vibes, so this will be perfect for the end of the year, I'm assuming. Next up, I'm going to talk about a book series that is not yet finished, but book number 2 has come out. I just haven't read it yet, and this is very high up on my list of things to read. And the only reason why I don't think I've read this yet is because I want the paperback version, and I don't believe that's out yet. So I'm currently reading, what's the name of the series? What's the name of the actual series? Well, it's The Will of the Many by James Islington. The Hierarchy. This book is so intriguing. I had a whale of a time with this book. It was so interesting, and I really enjoyed the main character. This is like a Roman-inspired fantasy set in an academy. So if you like the kind of educational academy environment, you'll really enjoy this. There's plot twists and turns. The ending of this book actually had me gasping. It took a turn that I did not expect it to go at all. And I really enjoyed this book. And the whole concept of the magic system with like the will and the different hierarchies that they have and the different classes of people is very intriguing. So I would highly recommend this book. Again, it's extremely well written. The plot for me felt very well paced the entire way through. And again, the cliffhanger ending was insane. So I definitely want to read the next book, which is called The Strength of the Few, but I just don't believe the paperback is out yet. And I would quite like the paperback because I have the paperback of the first book. So this is one that's definitely top of my priority whenever the paperback comes out. I don't know if it is or not. What next? There's so many books. Oh, this one, because I'm about to finish this series. So I'm also reading Joe Abercrombie, the first Laure trilogy. Oh my goodness, what can I even say about this? Again, this is another one of my favourite series that I've ever read. It's on par for me with the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb. The first Laure I have absolutely adored my time with, and I've only read the first 2 books. It's a trilogy, so there is a third one for me to read, which I'm going to read this month, hopefully. It's on my July TBR. I'm excited and scared to finish the series because I just feel like at the end of a series, the author can do anything. They can kill off any character. The storyline can end in any way, and I'm a bit scared. But I must say, the character work in Joe Abercrombie's first Laure trilogy is the best that I've ever seen. I've said this before and I'll say it again, but Sandan Glokta is one of the best characters I've ever read about in my entire life. His perspectives are so unique, so incredible. I've not read another character like him in any fantasy book, and I do pride myself that I've read a lot of fantasy books. And I've never read anybody that comes close to Sandan Glokta. I just absolutely adore this series so much. Superficial as well, but I also really love the front covers. I think they look beautiful. It's like parchment. And yeah, I'm very excited to finish this series. This is another one where like I'll be sad when it's over, but then it also means I can read some more of Joe Abercrombie's works. So it's a very bittersweet feeling, but I just need to know how it ends. So I'd highly recommend that. On a similar level, so this book series I'm about to recommend is not currently finished. I have hope that it will be finished, but it's been a long time since the most recent installment in the book was released, in the book series was released, sorry. But the author, he's still young, he's got time on his hands, and he seems quite determined based on what he said. So I'm hopeful that this next book will come out. So this is The Gentleman Bastards by Scott Lynch. This is a very good book series. I actually preferred book 2 to book 3, and I am not up to date yet actually, because there is a third book that is out that I can read, but I just know it's not the end of the series. So the 4th book hasn't come out to my knowledge, and it's been a long time since the 3rd book was released. So I've read books 1 and 2. One of Scott Lynch's strengths is his dialogue, his witty, banterous dialogue, and his characters are great. So The Lies of Loch Lamora is about this kind of band of thieves, I suppose, who go on heists, they steal from the rich, they have all these very meticulous, well-planned plots and lots of very cool, interesting things that they do. And it's all just very, very witty and very well thought out, and it's hilarious. If you like a fantasy novel that's not silly humour, but it's very like witty humour, then I think you'll really enjoy this. It's not like dumb jokes, it's like very smart, calculated jokes, but they're just hilarious. So I really, really enjoy this series so much, and I'm excited to read the next book, which is The Republic of Thieves. But I just know it's not the end of the series yet. We've got more to come, but after I've read The Republic of Thieves, I will be up to date on this series. So another book series that I am up to date on, I literally just finished this, I think last month, and this is book 2 in the series, and there is going to be a third one coming out probably next year. But this is the Wolves of Ruin series. So the first book is Direbound, but I have Furybound in my hands for some reason. And this one is a fantasy with a subplot of romance. So in the video so far, I believe this is the first one that kind of errs on the side of romantasy. The rest of them are just like your bog standard fantasy. This one is about a woman who is in kind of like this army military camp, and she is bonded to a direwolf, so she's kind of training her and her direwolf to serve for the army. We've also got some noble political shenanigans going on. There's something dodgy about the king and that's all I'm going to say without spoiling the plot. But this was another one where I enjoyed book 2 way more than book 1. I enjoyed book 1, but I felt what it lacked was character depth from the direwolves. The direwolves didn't really feel like they had all that much personality in them, but that was massively improved on in book 2. In Furybound, I love the direwolves in this. Incredible. And I think they did a great job with it. And I really enjoyed the plot a lot more actually in this one. It got juicy and we had some different locations. So I'm up to date on The Wolves of Ruin. Oh, by Sable Sorenson. I didn't say who it was by, sorry. And I'm excited to continue the series. I definitely will. There's no doubt in my mind that I will finish this series when all the books are released. Oh, we've got the Leaning Tower of books on my desk at the moment. Let's talk about a very similar one to Wolves of Ruin, because I feel like Wolves of Ruin took inspiration from this next book. So this one is The Empyrean Cycle by Rebecca Yarros. Starting off with Fourth Wing. I absolutely loved Fourth Wing. Firstly, I think if you're a romantasy fan, I think you should definitely read this book. The romance is one of the strongest assets of this book. But do you want to know what the other strongest asset is? The dragons. The way that the dragons are depicted, described. If you guys know much about me, you will know I love dragons. They are my favourite thing about fantasy. I am obsessed with them, I love the look of them, and I don't like books which do not depict dragons very well. Like if a book depicts a dragon as being like a fluffy little pet or not intimidating and badass, I don't like it. I like the kind of books that depict dragons as being intelligent, wise, badass, strong, intimidating, frightening. That's how I like the dragons to be depicted. And I feel like in Fourth Wing, they do the dragons very well, which is why I absolutely loved this book. A lot of people find the main character annoying. I don't. I really like the main character. And I love her bond with the dragons, and the dragons are so in-depth and so detailed. They've got so much personality. I just really like it. So Fourth Wing, again, is about a woman who is in a military training academy where she is learning how to use her dragon as a weapon for the army, and she's obviously bonded to the dragon. There's some high fantasy elements in here as well. We've got some different types of creatures, and I feel like Direbound took a lot of inspiration from Fourth Wing but used direwolves instead. So if you liked Fourth Wing, you'll probably find elements of Direbound that you really enjoyed, and vice versa. If you've read Direbound but not Fourth Wing and you liked Direbound, please read Fourth Wing. You'll absolutely love this. And I really like the writing style as well. So this book, I am up to date, so I've read the 3 books that are out at the moment, but it's not a finished series. So when the next one comes out next year, I'm going to snap that up immediately. I really enjoy this series a lot. Okie dokie, let's talk about another book series which I'm up to date on but is not finished. This is a series that I don't think will ever be finished. Controversial take, but it is A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin, starting with Game of Thrones. The whole reason why I made my other YouTube channel. It's what got me talking about books, because I finished this series and I wanted to talk about them somewhere. So that's why I made book videos on my other channel, and then obviously I started watching the Game of Thrones TV show. I really enjoy this book series. I think it's a staple if you are a fantasy fan. It's influential, to say the least. Very well written, very complicated, such a complex, detailed plot. So many different characters, so many different storylines. It's so in-depth, and it's one of those series where you can really get yourself fully invested into the world. It's absolutely incredible. I do not regret reading this. It just won't ever be finished. And I don't think the next book will ever come out, so I don't think The Winds of Winter will ever come out. I think it's going to stop at Dance with Dragons. But I found my peace with that, unfortunately. So I would still recommend that you read the series, even though it's not finished and never will be. It's incredible. I really enjoyed it, and I want to reread the series, so I'm hoping to do that next year at some point. And shameless plug, but if you guys like reactions to the Game of Thrones TV show from a book reader's perspective, and for some reason you don't know me from my other channel, then please check out my other channel, Becky Does Blog. I'm going to assume the majority of people who watch this video probably came from that one. But just in case you weren't aware of it, and if your introduction to me for the first time is through the Becky Does Books channel, then I hope that you'll be interested in checking out Becky Does Blog, and I'll leave that in the description. So let's talk about another book series that I am going to be prioritising this month. This is on my July TBR as well. This is The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien, because again, how can I be a fantasy fan and not have read Lord of the Rings? So I have read Fellowship of the Ring, and then this month I'm going to be reading The Two Towers. I am excited for it, even though I didn't enjoy the Fellowship of the Ring all that much. I just don't think I vibe with the writing style. I mean, Tolkien's incredible, you know, to think of all this stuff in his head and to put it onto paper, especially in this time period that it was released. Incredible. You know, what an influential man, founding father of fantasy. But The Lord of the Rings itself, the writing style is very boring and info dump after info dump, and I don't think the character work was all that great. But I am going to read the next book, and it does give a very wholesome feeling to it. Again, it's one of those books that you can just get stuck into on a rainy day. It just feels quite wholesome. So I am going to read this and hopefully enjoy my time with it, and we'll see what I think about the second book later on this month. Moving swiftly on before the Lord of the Rings fans come for me, let's talk about another book series that is not currently finished, but I am up to date completely on it. Well, kinda. I'll tell you what I mean in a minute. That is ACOTAR by Sarah J Maas, A Court of Thorn and Roses. So the 6th book is coming out this year, but apparently you need to read her other series before you can read ACOTAR 6. This is my least favourite book in the series, book 1. This book's okay, but the rest of the series, fantastic. Really enjoy the other books in this series. So yeah, I would recommend this if you are a romantasy fan. On a similar wavelength, I suppose, this one is definitely a romantasy as well. This one is The Hurricane Wars by Thea Guanzon. I quite enjoyed this book. Firstly, I think the front cover is absolutely stunning. What a beautiful front cover. This is an enemies to lovers romantasy. So two monarchs on different sides have to be into a forced marriage, and that is the plot. I really liked the nature elements to this. There's some very beautifully described nature scenes with like waterfalls and pretty flowers, and the overall vibe of this book was just very whimsical and very feminine, it felt like. So I do have book 2. Book 2 is the latest instalment, but I don't believe the series is finished. I don't think it's a duology, but I suppose I'll find out when I read the next book. I do have it. I do also have book 2 in a sprayed edge as well, which makes me very happy. This one right here, A Monsoon Rising. So I've got both editions in the sprayed edges, and that makes me very, very happy. So I'm going to finish this series. I'm excited for it, and I think it's just one of those very easy reads. It's not too much of a heavy fantasy, and I can just kind of get relaxed whilst I'm reading it and enjoy the plot. So the next one I want to share with you is a fantasy. This one is like a fantasy murder mystery, which I really enjoyed. This is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. This is a brilliant book. What is the actual series called? Don't know what the name of the series is called, sorry. Maybe it's just called The Raven Scholar? So this is book 1 and book 2 is due to be released, probably next year I imagine. I really enjoyed this. I loved the murder mystery element, but there's also trials in here as well. Again, we've got a little bit of like an academy kind of setting. So it's not fully in an academy, but it is like training, and there's a trial and a competition. So if you like fantasy books that have trials, competitions, but you also have the other plot of working out the murder mystery, I think you'll really enjoy this. I really loved the characters. I also like the magical element, how each house in this world represents a different animal. So you have like the raven house, you have like the lion house, the monkey house, the dragon house. So you have a very cool fantasy style of monarchy in this book and society. So I really liked it, and there was a crazy showdown at the end. I would highly recommend this book. I think it was really well written, and I'm very intrigued by the next book. Another series I'm also in the middle of, but it is not currently complete, but I absolutely love it, is The Darkwan Chronicles by Callum Rushworth. Again, I'm not going to talk too much about this because I am married to the author, but I genuinely love this, and it's perfect for lovers of traditional quest-driven fantasy. So kind of, you've got this companionship of people who are on a very determined quest with very high stakes, and you're following their journey through it. It's multi-POV, so you've also got some different plots. I like how you've got plots going on at the court in like the political stance, but you also have plots going on out in the wider world on the quest and the journey. So I really enjoy this. There are 2 books currently out and a novella. There's also another novella coming this October, and then book 3 will be out next year, and it's going to be a 4-book series with the novellas interspersed as well. So I really enjoy this. I love the high fantasy elements. Again, the animal companion in this book, it fulfills my heart. It's incredible, and it's got a very likable band of characters as well. So I really do enjoy this book. I'm very proud of Callum. I wouldn't have read this book so many times if I didn't enjoy it, and I wouldn't even be sharing it on my channel if I didn't enjoy it. I just absolutely love it, and for a fantasy fan, it just makes me feel very wholesome. So definitely going to continue that series. And then the final fantasy series that I'm in the middle of at the moment, which again I love and it gives me the wholesome feelings, is The Bound and the Broken by Ryan Cahill. So I've read book number 1 of Blood and Fire, and I'm going to be reading the novella this month as well, so that's on my July TBR. And then I'm hoping to get straight into book 2, like next month. I love this series so much, I don't want to wait to read it. A lot of these books I've shared today, it's been quite a while since I last read the one in the series. But with The Bound and the Broken, I just really loved it so much that I don't want to wait. I'm prioritising the series. Wholesomeness, quest-driven, cool locations, cool species, likeable characters, a companionship, found family, animal companions. It gives me everything I want in a fantasy. So I'm so excited to read the next one in the series, and I'm going to read the novella, and that one is definitely one I will be continuing. So those are all of the fantasy series that I'm in the middle of, I believe. Now I'm going to talk about some series that are not fantasy, but I'm in the middle of them. They're just a different genre. So first up, I'm going to start with one that's like a bit of an overlap because it's definitely more sci-fi than it is fantasy. This is Red Rising by, what's the author's name? Oh my goodness, what is the author's name? Pierce Brown! Pierce Brown! So with Red Rising, I'm definitely going to continue the series, but it has been a while since I read Red Rising. The first book was a little bit like average for me, but I've heard so many incredible things about the next few books that it really does make me want to read more, and I liked the main character a lot. So this is a sci-fi set on Mars, I believe. And again, if you like trials, then this one has a lot of trials. You've got different houses that are all fighting each other for survival. But I also really like the societal system, how each person is separated into a different colour, like different class. So you have like the red, the pink, the brown, the gold. So you've got all these different colours of people which signifies what class they are in the hierarchy, and I really like that idea. There's definitely a kind of rebellion plot, which I'm excited to see how that transpires. And I will definitely be reading book 2 in the Red Rising series at some point soon. Another series that I'm in the middle of at the moment, which will definitely also be one that I am continuing because I really enjoyed it and heard great things about the rest of the books, is Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinniman. This book series is taking the world by absolute storm at the moment, and rightly so. It's fun. It's a lit RPG. It's about a boy who finds himself in a kind of game show style dungeon where he has like a health bar. He has to basically play a game, but he is living his life at the same time, so he could actually die. And you've got the cool animal companion of Princess Donut, who is his ex-girlfriend's cat. And it's just fun. You know, they're fighting kooky monsters, they're getting items, you know, they're leveling up their skills. If you like playing games like that, you'll probably really enjoy this book. And I'm definitely going to finish this book series. It's quite a long series as well, so something you can really get invested into. And I'm going to read the rest of them by audiobook, I think, because I've heard really good things about the audiobook. Another series that I'm in the middle of at the moment and really thoroughly enjoying, these books are very, very short, very easy to read, is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Now, I was not expecting this book to be a 5-star when I read it, but it was. I rated it 5 stars, absolutely loved everything about this. This book series is about a cafe where you have the ability to time travel, but you need to return to the present before your cup of coffee gets cold. And so in this book, it has different people's stories, different customers that use the cafe for different reasons, to go back in time or to go to the future, and the reasons why. It's a very inspirational book. It's very short as well. And again, there's loads of these in the series, and I'm absolutely going to read every single one because I loved this book so much. It was very easy to read, very easy writing style, but it packs a punch. The messages and the morals in this book are incredible, and I will absolutely be finishing the series. I have book 2 ready to go. I'm just waiting for maybe a time when I'm in a reading slump, because I know that this will get me out of it. So that's that one. And then another series that I'm in the middle of at the moment is the Dream Harbour series by Laure Gilmore. This one is a romance, small town romance series, and each book is set on different characters who own a business in the town. So this one's the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. You've also got one about the flower shop, the pancake house, the ice cream parlour, the Christmas tree farm. You've got these very cosy characters trying to allow their businesses to succeed, but you've also got a romance in every single book. It is a romance series. I love all the characters. There's only been one character that I hate out of about the 30 of them that exist, which isn't bad going. I tend to love the majority of these books. There's only one of them that I haven't really liked all that much. The rest of them I've absolutely loved. It's a 6-book series so far. I don't believe it's finished yet, and I've read every single one and had a good time. They're easy reading. Yes, the writing style is probably quite basic compared to a lot of the other books I've shared with you today, but it's light-hearted, it's easy to read, you don't have to think about it too much, the stakes are not very high. It's normally just about a couple trying to make a relationship work and trying to allow their businesses to succeed in this very small town community. And I just really enjoy it. So that is my kind of cozy series that I love to read. And on a similar level, another book series that I am reading, which is a cozy romance, is The Little Board Game Cafe by Jennifer Page. I literally just finished book 1 in the series like 2 days ago, and I really enjoyed it. So I am going to read the rest of the series. I believe it's a trilogy. And it's cozy, it's small town. This one isn't heavy on the romance, to be fair. I say it's a romance just because there's romance in it, but it's much more just about a woman trying to make her cafe succeed with a lot of barriers and hurdles that come up. But it also explored a lot of grief in the book as well, which I thought was represented really well. And I really enjoyed this book. It was really easy to read, and it just gave me a very cozy feeling. So I'm definitely going to read the next one in the series as well. And then to finish this video off, I'm going to talk to you about 2 series that I'm in the middle of that I'm not sure I'm going to continue. So every single book I've talked about today, every single series I've talked about today so far, I'm going to finish the series. Like, I'm going to read the rest of the books in the series, and I'm so excited for. These next 2, I'm not 100% sure that I am going to finish the series. So if you feel like you want to convince me to finish them, if you think I'm missing out by not finishing them, let me know. Give me a comment, let me know why. But I'm going to talk to you about them now and tell you why I may not be finishing the series. So, controversial one first of all, Dune by Frank Herbert. So, I enjoyed my time whilst reading this book. I've got no desire to reread it. I also don't really think about the storyline all that much. It didn't leave a substantial impact on me. I found it to be very confusing. I struggled to process it. I struggled to know what was happening. I do appreciate the concept of it. It's a very sci-fi style book. It's on this planet where they're kind of harvesting spice. Would you say the word is harvesting or mining spice for their economy? You've got like political elements, but not in the way that we would think. It's not like castles and things. It's much more about clans and cults and communities in that respect. But I just found it to be a little bit confusing, and I enjoyed the movies more because they helped me to understand things in this book I didn't. And I've also heard very, very controversial things about the remainder books in the series. So I do know that Frank Herbert's sons, I believe, finished his series for him. But I've just heard some very interesting things about the rest of the books that I'm not 100% sure I'm ever going to be in the mood to finish the series. So that's my only gripe with this one. So we'll see. It's just something I'm never in the mood to pick up, unfortunately. But I am glad I've read book one. I am glad I've read Dune. I just don't think I'll continue the series. It just didn't really do much for me. And then the other book that I started the series of, it's a duology, but I don't think I'm going to read the second book, is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. There was nothing wrong in particular with this book. I just don't really want to pick up the second. I'm just not really interested. I enjoyed the characters in this book, not enough to feel completely attached to them. And I also think as well this book is very YA, so it's very young adult, which I don't normally mind because you could say things like The Hunger Games are young adult, and things like Eragon, for example, young adult, and I love that. And I'm just not that interested to pick up the next book. I mean, I may, because it's only one book and it's not particularly very long, and I have it, like I literally have the second book on my shelf. So I may, but I'm not interested enough, I don't think, to read the next one. But I did like the characters, so maybe that's the reason why I might. Woo! Wow, that was a lot of books I talked about. So that is every book series I'm currently in the middle of, whether I'm up to date on them thus far but they're not finished, or I just haven't read the books yet, like I just haven't finished them yet. So we've definitely got some priorities, we've definitely got a few that I'm going to try and finish this year, but we've still got a long way left to go. So I would love to hear from you what book series you're in the middle of, and I've just realised there's a lot. I'm in the middle of a lot. Why have I started so many series? It's quite overwhelming. This video has made me feel overwhelmed because now I feel like there's just so many books I need to read. So are you as overwhelmed as I am with how many books you need to read? If there's a particular series in this video that you think I should prioritise, let me know, give me your reasons. If you think that I should definitely continue both of these series, then let me know as well. I'd love to hear if you read any of these book series that I've mentioned today and what you think to them. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And as always, I just want to thank you so much for the support. I'm really enjoying these cozy book videos. I know that I've overwhelmed myself by how many books I now need to read, but there is something very, very therapeutic about talking about books. So let's continue the conversation in the comments. Feel free to subscribe if you like book content and you want to see more from me. I will see you next time, or rather you'll see me, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now. Oh my god. Things I do for a thumbnail. Ah! How am I going to carry these? Ah! This isn't working, guys, this isn't working. Okay, I need to film this really quick. Ah! Okay, well that'll do. Oh my good lord.